Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Tuesday, September 28th, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 666 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Rep. Lauren Boebert tries to make a point about vaccines, gets a big dose of mockery. Mitch McConnell's Senate GOP votes for the U.S. to default on its debt and for the government to shut down. Fighter pilot from the Marine Corps 1st F-35C Squadron says the stealth jet is making U.S. aircraft carriers more lethal. R. Kelly convicted in sex trafficking trial. Powell says spike in inflation lasting longer than expected. Police, gunman in grocery store shooting lost job that day. Millionaire Baltimore businessman led double life as sex addict, tormentor, federal judge hands down 18-month sentence. Person of interest rebuffed by missing Florida college student kills himself. Judge blocks Arizona laws banning school, city mask mandates. A Florida rancher doesn't believe Brian Laundrie is dead in the swamp. Police are searching because he hasn't seen any buzzards. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. World's most dangerous bird raised by humans 18,000 years ago, study suggests, CNN. R. Kelly has been found guilty of sex trafficking. Now what happens? USA Today. North Korea launches short-range missile as country's envoy speaks at UN, The New York Times. Power shortages in China hits homes and factories prompting global supply fears, The Guardian. Amtrak train in Montana that derailed was going just under speed limit, Fox News. Matt James's Samba, Dancing with the Stars, Dancing with the Stars. FBI statistics show increase in murder rate, CBS Evening News. Sempra Energy will compensate 35,000 people who were hurt in a 2015 gas leak, NPR. Dow Jones Futures, Pelosi makes key infrastructure decision, Tesla, AMD are in buy areas, Investors Business Daily. Social Democrats win in Germany could shake up Europe, Yahoo News. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Mitch McConnell gets COVID-19 booster on same day as Biden, easy decision. Demi Lovato says UFO sighting was a beautiful and incredible experience. Lauren Boebert tries to make a point about vaccines, gets a big dose of mockery. Here are the states that automatically mail ballots to all voters. The views on Navarro rips dimwit Donald Trump Jr. after he mocks her weight. Person of interest in Myanmar Kano disappearance found dead. How to celebrate Latinx heritage with your kids all year round. Shaquille O'Neal, I denounce my celebrity-ness today. What happens if you mix COVID vaccine doses? How Democrats could change the child tax credit. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Sailor honored after his remains were identified. 100+ health workers fired for refusing vaccine. Student killed after homecoming dance. Drivers warned to remain alert during deer season. PD, kids found alive after a offender took them. Man killed after being ejected from vehicle. Family prays for return of missing woman. 96-year-old woman calls sheriff to praise deputy who changed her tire. Student suspended for mental health protest. 8-year-old honored for alerting neighbor to fire. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. New York City vaccine mandate for school workers can proceed, judges rule. Canada doubles its Afghan refugee resettlement target to 40,000 people. Republicans block government funding, refusing to lift debt limit. Man who blackmailed girls to send explicit images is sentenced to 20 years. ACLU apologizes for tweet that altered quote by Justice Ginsburg. General Milley back in the center of a political battle. American siblings barred from leaving China for 3 years return to U.S. North Korea launches short-range missile as country's envoy speaks at UN. Ford will build 4 factories in a big electric vehicle push. Finding memories in reused food containers like Cool Whip. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Sex assault case against Lance Armstrong's son dropped. Anti-vaccine mandate protesters march NYC streets on eve of enforcement for healthcare workers. NY Governor Hochul says vaccines are from God, sends out her own apostles to push jabs. Child dead after infected by rare brain-eating amoeba found at Texas splash pad. Eli Manning imitates Dak Prescott's hip thrust warm-up during live broadcast, I'm like Shakira. Jean Hale, Batman and in like Flint star, dead at 82. LeBron James recalls flirting with NFL offers during Peyton, Eli Manning broadcast. Dan Crenshaw argues there's a lot of bad stuff in Democrats' spending bill. NYC Mayor de Blasio gives Friday deadline for school employees to get vaccine after legal victory. Giants' John Mara hears the boos during Eli Manning's jersey ceremony. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Tuesday, September 28th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Vanessa Lachey says in CIS, Hawaii is evolving the franchise. Quad on video, anti-mask protest turns violent at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in California. You don't talk down to kids, Kimiko Glenn on Nickelodeon's Baby Shark's Big Show and Orange is the New Black. Dozens of Massachusetts State Police troopers resigning over COVID vaccine mandate, union says. I thought a lot about who would create Christopher Moltisanti, Gabriella Piazza on The Many Saints of Newark and The Sopranos. Fale Kaloafoiku and Billy Gardell call Bob Hart's Abishala wedding tonight a historic moment. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, The Daily Mail. Driver pulls knife on motorist who tries to run him over. Will Smith reveals that he and wife Jada Pinkett Smith do not practice monogamy. How R. Kelly was finally brought to justice, singer used his fame to get away with decades of abuse. Wife videos last moments of fitness coach and woman he was trying to save from stormy Spanish waves. Why WFH is bad for you, the daily commute is good for your mind and your waistline, scientists say. Market report, oil stocks rally as crude heads to $80. Anglers use punt boat to block paddle boarders going under River Avon Bridge as bitter war escalates. North Korea fires ballistic missile into the sea. Perth psychologist Gabby Goodyear shares 5 steps for getting over breakup. Rachel Reeves fights for labor credibility after Jeremy Corbyn. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. COVID hit us like a cyclone. An Aboriginal town in the Australian outback is overwhelmed. Germany enters a period of post-Merkel uncertainty. How abortion laws in the U.S. compare to those in other countries. Video shows church bell tower collapse after being hit by lava on La Palma. Pope recognizes errors as Mexico celebrates independence. With lunch invite, UN chief tries to restart Cyprus talks. North Korea fires short-range missile eastward into sea, South Korean military says. France's Macron pelted with an egg during visit to Lyon. German capital to get first female mayor. N. Korea accuses U.S. of hostility, continues weapons tests. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. R. Kelly found guilty on racketeering and sex trafficking charges. Bond is back, where's he going next? Power shortages in China hits homes and factories, prompting global supply fears. Biden's agenda hangs in balance as Republicans block measure to fund government. North Korea fires unidentified projectile into sea, South Korean military says. U.S. records largest annual increase in murders in 6 decades. UK sends warships through Taiwan Strait for first time in more than a decade. People who can fit into jeans they wore age 21 feet risk developing diabetes. Britney Spears, team says father crossed unfathomable lines on surveillance. Brighton's Neil Maupay stuns Crystal Palace with stoppage time equalizer. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Nancy Pelosi reiterates infrastructure vote plans as some Democrats push back. North Korea fires short-range missile to sea in latest test. Marijuana use did not climb following legalization in states, study. Nearly 28,000 pounds of frozen pizza recalled due to misbranding, allergens. China, 2 Canadians and prisoner swap freed for health reasons. U.S. Rep Karen Bass enters race for Los Angeles mayor. R&B superstar R. Kelly convicted in sex trafficking trial. Biden gets COVID-19 booster shot before cameras, pushes vaccinations. Watch, out-of-control pickup truck barely avoids intersection traffic. UK malls calling in army to help ease gas shortage at pumps. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. R. Kelly found guilty in sex trafficking trial. North Korea fires projectile, says South's military. 3 Polish regions scrap entitled resolutions. What it's like to be a 9-year-old in a vaccine clinical trial. Taliban, Afghanistan bank boss warns sector new collapse. Remembering Babin Yair and Ukraine's forgotten Holocaust by bullets. John Lennon, recording of unreleased song up for auction in Denmark. COVID-19, President Joe Biden receives Pfizer booster jab. Germany election, coalition talks begin after close election. Beirut port explosion investigation suspended for second time. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Nicolas Cage goes from meditative haiku to Western kabuki. Nicolas Cage goes full Cage in Prisoners of the Ghostland. Paul, Prue talk new season of the Great British Baking Show. A girl was threatened with jail over COVID-19 social media posts, a judge ruled in her favor. Let's do this, Democratic Rep Karen Bass enters Los Angeles mayoral race. Today in history for September 28. U.S. safety officials begin probe of Amtrak derailment. 3 men approached a group of wild brown bears in Alaska. They're now facing federal charges. A fireball passing through the atmosphere at 32,000 miles per hour was caught on camera in North Carolina. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Photos, SoCal Gas agrees to pay up to $1.8 billion in settlement for 2015 Aliso Canyon gas leak. Well-known Los Angeles Police Department critic arrested in Hollywood on criminal threats charge. All California prison guards, staff must get COVID-19 vaccine, federal judge rules. Suspect in Corona theater killings pleads not guilty by reason of insanity. L.A. County Sheriff's deputy accidentally opens fire in courtroom. SoCalGas agrees to pay up to $1.8 billion in settlement for 2015 Aliso Canyon gas leak. Britney Spears' lawyer goes off on dad, Mr. Spears has crossed unfathomable lines. Fire leads to discovery of crawl space where person had lived. Californians will vote multiple times in 2022 for the same U.S. Senate seat. California's universal voting by mail becomes permanent. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Tuesday, September 28, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Central Intelligence Agency officials under Trump discussed assassinating Julian Assange, report Julian Assange. France's Macron hit with egg at trade fair near Lyon. French President Emmanuel Macron was hit with an egg while attending a convention near Lyon, 3 months after being slapped while visiting healthcare workers in the country's southeast. Free speech still a core value, YouTube CEO says after blocking Russian opposition videos at the request of Russian government. A Michelin-starred chef from Martinique turned away from a gala dinner in the French city of Lyon despite being one of the invited guests has denounced his treatment. Marcel Ravin, who hails from the Caribbean island, is black. Rescue operation underway for 39 miners stuck underground in Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. U.S. won't be investigated for claims of torture, mistreatment in Afghanistan, ICCIs. 2 transgender women win seats in German parliament. Iraq government issues arrest warrants for Iraqi speakers who championed peace with Israel. Syria says it will drive U.S. from country if troops do not leave voluntarily. Indian authorities are using politically motivated allegations of tax evasion and financial irregularities to silence human rights activists, journalists, and other critics of the government, Human Rights Watch said. The Irish government is examining introducing a bank holiday between now and the end of the year as part of a pandemic bonus. Plans are at an advanced stage to have a day to recognize the contribution of frontline workers and to remember those who died from COVID. 3 Polish regions repeal LGBT-free declarations. Macron egged by protesters shouting Vive la Revolution. Up to 90% of UK petrol pumps dry amid panic buying. SPD candidate born in 1993 wins district held by Merkel since 1990, flipping of constituency by Anna Kosowski, 27, signals generational changing of guard in German vote. The next headlines are from Forbes. January 6 panel planning good number of new subpoenas, including for Capitol rioters. Barcelona sensation Ansu Fati is back to lift La Liga in the post-Messi space. Senate Republicans block bill to temporarily fund government, raise debt limit. Ford and SK investing $11.4 billion for new electric truck plant, 3 battery factories. Hospitals begin firing staffers who refuse COVID vaccines, leading some to fear staffing shortages. Cleveland says goodbye to Indians in final home game. Marjorie Taylor Greene's latest stunt, trying in vain to shut Congress down. Blackpink's Lisa is just the 2nd K-pop female musician to chart a best-selling rap song in America. Italian cheeses come into their own. A Rampage ratings. Rampage freefall continues on Grand Slam with 640,000 viewers. The next headlines are from Nature.com. How to shrink the gap that holds black scientists back. High-profile autism genetics project paused amid backlash. Beware survivorship bias and advice on science careers. Transformations in medical care were never easy or safe. Audio long read, can artificially altered clouds save the Great Barrier Reef? Stress testing avocados. Climate change to loom large in talks to form new German government. Retraction note, ICE inhibitors kill gram-negative bacteria and mobilize immune clearance. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,734,410,381 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Busan in London selection. Pedro explores the outsider in society. Busan APM, India's A Miracle of Love takes a deeply personal look at autism. IATS members cancel streaming subscriptions ahead of strike vote. Busan, Emmy nominee No Azadin City Quion Mustafa Sarwar Faruqi's No Lands Man exclusive. Busan, Aparna Sen on Kim Ji-seok award contender The Rapist. I Am Quantique, Busan honors an old master as Asian Filmmaker of the Year. Commander Cody, also known as George Frayne, roots rock band leader and hot rod Lincoln singer, dies at 77. Fremantle sets Bobby to battle as group head of diversity, equity and inclusion. As Tenacious D turns 20, Jack Black and Kyle Gass look back on their debut album Stony Fun and Friendship. The Boys spin-off ordered at Amazon, Michelle Fazekas and Tara Butters take over as showrunners. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. As vaccine deadlines approach, hospitals fear staffing shortages will occur. Just before taking effect, Arizona's school mask mandate ban ruled unconstitutional. Man who shot randomly in a Tennessee grocery store had lost his job that day. Families harmed by a gas blowout near Los Angeles reach a $1.8 billion settlement. Fireball meteor caught on camera soaring over North Carolina at 32,000 miles per hour. NYC can impose vaccine mandate on teachers, federal appeals court says. The Taliban order barbers not to shave beards in Afghan province of Helmand. Senate Republicans block government funding bill in a battle over the debt limit. Police have made an arrest in the killing of teacher Sabina Nessa in London. Dozens of Massachusetts state police have resigned over a vaccine mandate, union says. The following headlines are from The Week. Union says dozens of Massachusetts state troopers are resigning over vaccine mandate. South Korean military says North Korea fired unidentified projectile into sea. California will now send ballots to all registered voters for every election. Senate Republicans block bill to avert government shutdown. Germany's next governing coalition could be determined by third and fourth place parties. Just 1 in 5 voters would blame the GOP if the government defaults, poll finds. Attorney Gloria Allred, R. Kelly is the worst of all the predators I have pursued. Public still hugely underestimating how much more dangerous COVID-19 is for the elderly. How Trump handpicked Liz Cheney challenger plotted against his nomination in 2016. R. Kelly convicted on all counts in sex trafficking trial. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Promoting equity. The next headlines are from Universe Today. What happens to interstellar objects captured by the solar system? Chefs on the moon will be cooking up rocks to make air and water. These are the news headlines for today, Tuesday, September 28. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Mars' small size limited its habitability. The next news is from Politico, where Angela Merkel's voters went, by the numbers. After historic loss, Germany's Armin Laschet begins to accept the inevitable. European Union envoys create 11th outreach for Transatlantic Tech Alliance. North Korea fires possible ballistic missile into sea. Opinion: what Germany's election results mean for U.S. foreign policy. Top CDC official steps aside as head of pandemic task force. Snakes, tentacles and dragons, GOP boosts incumbents with new Texas congressional map. Base officially launches Los Angeles mayoral run. Texas airline pilots warned that vaccine mandates could roil holiday flights. DeSantis pushing election officials to investigate Facebook. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, Victoria records 867 new local COVID-19 cases, 4 deaths, NSW records 863 new cases, 7 deaths, Queensland records 3 new cases. Self-testing kits to be available at pharmacies, convenience stores within weeks. Isolating Victorians to trial new quarantine app as state records 867 new COVID-19 cases, 4 deaths. Fugitive who surrendered 29 years after prison escape will plead for clemency, court told. The energy crisis wreaking havoc across the globe. Fewer than 1 in 3 Indigenous Australians fully vaccinated. Who is robotic Olaf Scholz, Merkel's likely successor? NSW records 863 new COVID-19 cases and 7 deaths. Big Tech is monitoring our moods and employers are paying attention. Investors told to reject BHP's climate change strategy. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Netflix says Bridgerton is its most watched series ever, but maybe not for long. I lost everything during the 2008 crash. I didn't have a car for 7 years, and I was homeless. I'm still worried. What's worth streaming? Here's everything coming to Netflix in October 2021, and what's leaving. What's worth streaming? Here's what's new on Hulu in October 2021, and what's leaving. Mem Money. Monday's mem stock action was all about renewable energy and faded smiles. Crypto's bounce back after Friday's China-fueled sell-off as investors buy the dip. The Margin, FBI reports a record 30% rise in homicides in 2020. The Wall Street Journal, Fed Chief Jerome Powell to warn Congress inflation is elevated but likely to moderate. Endeavor is buying into sports betting, and the stock is winning. What's worth streaming? Here's what's new to Amazon Prime Video in October 2021. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Herald interview, improving R&D productivity crucial amid growing tech competition, IP agency chief, the Korea Herald. Valve escapes $6.50 MV bid in game controller IP row, Law 360. Form 8K Progress Software Court 4, September 27 StreetInsider.com. Air and surface sterilization mechanisms for COVID and other viruses available on the Ocean Tomo Ask TM, Market, WFMZ Allentown. Part 1, UK Court of Appeal rules that an AI cannot be the inventor on a patent application, intellectual property, UK, Mondac News alerts. E3D on patents and not being evil about them, Hackaday. Multiple independent claims under Indian patent system, intellectual property, India, Mondac News alerts. Dabus, the natural person problem, Inventa International. Who owns an AI-generated invention or work or art, Lixology. Biological resources and related legislation, intellectual property, India, Mondac News alerts. The next headlines are from Quartz. R. Kelly was found guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking. Here's what that means. To solve its labor shortage, the UK food industry is importing more workers. Where can you travel with mixed COVID-19 vaccine doses? Facebook is postponing the rollout of Instagram Kids. Evergrande, Ever Given, why are so many Chinese language brands prefixed Ever? The forecast, work after the Great Resignation. Who is Olaf Scholz, the potential successor for German Chancellor Angela Merkel? A daily pill to treat COVID could be just months away, scientists say. Kenya has banned a documentary for portraying a same-sex relationship. Why the UK has a gasoline shortage. The following headlines are from TechDirt. The future of streaming TV looks increasingly like cable, but free. Investigation. Minneapolis cops responded to George Floyd's murder by refusing to do their jobs while still collecting their paychecks. Bankers as content moderators. Clearview tosses subpoena to non-party transparency advocates, demands copies of communications with journalists. Daily Deal, the premium Java programming certification bundle. TechDirt's Plagiarism Collection, a plagiarized set of NFTs about plagiarism. Central Intelligence Agency Director Mike Pompeo touted kidnapping, killing of Julian Assange in response to publication of Central Intelligence Agency leaks. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Maya Marcano. Michael Porter Jr. Post Malone. Lil Wayne. Joe Coy. Kyrie Irving. Josh Gordon. John Hinckley. R. Kelly. Google's 23rd birthday. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. 2 top U.S. central bankers resign after reports of controversial investment trades. NYC to hire private weather forecaster and bolster early warning system after Hurricane Ida disaster. Lancet editor cites trans health in apology for cover quote describing women as bodies with vaginas. Pyongyang launches unidentified projectile just as North Korean ambassador takes UN stage, reports. Murders in the U.S. rose 30% in 2020 with multiple cities hitting historic highs, FBI. Canadian military saw COVID-19 pandemic as unique opportunity to deploy propaganda on own population, report. State Department spokesman praises safe and effective vaccines as he tests positive for COVID-19 after Unga. More demand, more products, Pfizer testing oral drug to prevent COVID-19 in people exposed to virus. Biden gets COVID-19 booster live on air, says U.S. will have a problem until 98% of Americans are vaccinated. CNN Stelter roasted by Glenn Greenwald and others for heralding himself as part of reality-based media. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Pentagon says it won't ask Taliban permission for future Afghan airstrikes. Musk publicly praises China for second time this month at conference held by China's Cyberspace Administration. Container ships now piling up at anchorages off China's ports. Lawyers and scientists are building a case for why natural immunity should be treated same as vaccination. Arizona Senate hears of multiple inconsistencies found by election audit. Despite record cargo backlogs, ports of LA and Long Beach still don't operate around the clock. Here's what no coiners don't get, it's not up to the government. China bans advertisements for cosmetic beauty loans. Pritzker goes to bat for what the Wall Street Journal calls one of the greatest fiscal cons in history. Biden gets booster shot, says 97% of Americans need to be vaxxed to return to normal. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Korea fires projectile, UN envoy says has right to test arms. U.S. Senate fails to advance GOP funding, debt ceiling measure. R&B singer R. Kelly convicted in sex trafficking trial. Energy crunch, how high will oil prices climb? Women of color in U.S. still face greater barriers at work, report. Man charged with murder of British teacher Sabina Nessa. Biden receives COVID booster, urges Americans to get vaccinated. Biden administration unveils new proposal to protect dreamers. South Sudan dismisses UN report on corruption. Canada's Green Party chief stepping down after election loss. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Poll, Republican Colorado Senate win within striking distance. Biden undercuts Pelosi, $5 trillion spending agenda might not pass by end of week. State Department, about 100 U.S. citizens, green card holders stranded in Afghanistan. Group stages protest against vaccine passports at Staten Island food court. White House, Xi Jinping raised Huawei CFO in call with Joe Biden before Justice Depp dropped charges. Report, Democrats' infrastructure bill hopes to transform American social, economic landscape. Democrat Pramila Jayapal claims $3.5 trillion package is a $0 bill. Left-wing talent agency CAA solidifies grip on Hollywood by acquiring rival ICM partners. Report, WHO reviving coronavirus origins probe with new team. Democrats' budget plan B would give amnesty to at least 7 illegal aliens. The next headlines are from UPI News. Australian man wins nearly $150,000 from free lottery ticket. Watch, world's largest Lego Formula One car assembled from 500,000 bricks. Iowa town cooks up 14,280 pancakes for Guinness World Record. Watch, mother bear, cub play on North Carolina school's playground. Watch, Idaho man catches 35 grapes in his mouth while juggling. Watch, exotic eagle on the loose in Pittsburgh after aviary escape. Tortoise rescued from Tokyo area airport runway. Watch, world's longest charcuterie board assembled in New York. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Man delivers donated RVs to wildfire victims in his spare time, 295 families, so far. Charity rescues so much food from landfill, it opens a pay-what-you-feel grocery store to share tons of produce. Story of unsung Dutch hero who saved thousands from Nazi Holocaust is finally told 45 years after his death. One man set out to make the perfect pasta shape, and it's so popular that orders are backed up for months. World's first five-nation reserve spans 435 miles in Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, Hungary, and Serbia, Amazon of Europe. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Tuesday, September 28th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. 22 years ago, they got a tattoo and free Mexican food for life. Anti-vax MAGA cartoonist says he's treating severe COVID with beet juice. Cyclist uses GPS tracking to recreate Nirvana Nevermind album cover on bicycle route. Rise of the Moors leader claims gun laws hurt militia's ability to protect Maine from foreign invasion. Newcastle homes evacuated after girl's magnet fishes apparent hand grenade from river. What a cracker, Merkel pecked by parrot. Kidnapping, assassination and a London shootout, inside the CIA's secret war plans against WikiLeaks. Wanted by Interpol, Suriname's Vice President Ronnie Brunswick makes professional football debut at 60 and is the father of 50 children. Man accidentally stabs 11-year-old while trying to scare him in haunted house. Man dies after chugging 1.5-liter bottle of Coca-Cola. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Microsoft's free course teaches the non-tech skills you missed in school. Scientists want to copy and paste the human brain onto a computer chip. Microsoft promises it hasn't given up on Skype with big batch of updates. Instagram kids put on ice after backlash from lawmakers and child safety groups. Unsurprisingly, running Facebook groups to reduce stress leaves women more stressed. This anti-snoring device safely stops the nocturnal rumblings that keep everybody awake. Learn how to make money from your art via NFTs with this training bundle on sale. How to separate your work and personal chats in Telegram. When should you listen to investors, and when should you ignore them? WhatsApp payments might soon earn you cash back. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Creating odor by mechanical deformation in dense active matter. Screening device accurately detects amblyopia, lazy eye. Case of anthrax in wildlife in the Namib Desert, infected zebra most likely causes death of 3 cheetahs. Amazonian protected areas benefit both people and biodiversity. Late Pleistocene humans may have hatched and raised cassowary chicks. Sunlight exposure guidelines may need to be revised. N95 respirators could offer robust protection from wildfire smoke. Withdrawal from psychostimulants restructures functional architecture of brain. Drugs used by some type 2 diabetics may lessen risk for severe COVID-19 outcomes, study suggests. Benefits of early intervention in autoimmune diseases. The next headlines are from Information Week. How Avike used cloud scalability to match its elasticity. Cloud computing like a day in a chocolate factory for IT managers. Capitalize on valuable data with a single analytics platform. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Tuesday, September 28th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA launches new mission to monitor Earth's landscapes. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Governor Cox thanks doTERRA for donation of 1 million alcohol wipes for Utah schools. Temperatures are going to drop in Utah. There could be snow at the highest elevations. Utah Jazz GM Justin Zanuck says the team is 100% vaccinated against COVID-19. Don't let Utah's top lawmakers stand in the way of the answer to the pandemic, editorial board writes. Salt Lake City police have potential promising leads in killing of Aaron Lowe. 13 liquor facts every Utan should know, whether you drink or not. Bagley cartoon, all that vaxx. High school football power rankings, Corner Canyon remains on top, 3 teams out. J. Del Holbrook, a last Democrat elected in Davis County, dies at 84. A casualty of the pandemic, Utah health leaders say COVID-19 politics have damaged public's trust in them. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Ford recalls Mustang Mach-E's over risk of glass roof flying off. YouTube valuable for teens' mental health, says CEO. A Tesla big battery is getting sued over power grid failures in Australia. U.S. to open program to replace Huawei equipment in U.S. networks. What it's like to spend 40-50 hours in VR every week. Students don't know what files and folders are, professors say. Robinhood CEO unwittingly inspired $1 million meme stock fraud. Media Lab acquires Imgur. Google, in fight against record EU fine, slams regulators for ignoring Apple. Prosecutors in Mexico seeking arrest warrants for more than 30 scientists. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Why coffee could soon be even more expensive. St. Louis County Council members explain why they changed votes on mask mandate. Fairview Heights man killed in Amtrak train derailment. The effort to protect residents, tourists in downtown St. Louis. Pfizer COVID booster shots now approved in Missouri. Umpire provides explanation for wild play in Cardinals-Cubs. Bradley Beal speaks out about not getting vaccinated against COVID. Some small businesses won't enforce new St. Louis County mask mandate. My knees buckled, Missouri woman wins $3 in scratch-off game. 5 Missouri schools have Confederate names, some want that to change. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Bill signed by Newsom could jail employers for intentionally committing wage theft. Man gets 19 years to life for sex assault on 88-year-old nursing home resident. Witness, woman who fell from Petco Park lost balance after jumping up on bench with child. This is very, very serious, Dia warns of dangers of fake pills leading to overdose deaths. Gloria to meet with White House, senators and first Washington, D.C. visit as mayor. GOP blocks bill to keep government going, new try ahead. Pfizer to submit COVID-19 vaccine data in children in matter of days, CEO says. Check your freezer, 14 tons of DiGiorno pizzas recalled over allergy concerns. Pandemic shortages return, Costco limiting purchases. California to mail every voter a ballot in future elections. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Air Force to receive 170 T-7 robots. Russia investigates sexual abuse of soldiers by top officers. Lockheed Martin to build next-generation tactical vehicle prototype for U.S. Army. Russia shows off new version of its heavy combat vehicle. U.S. Navy receives latest F/A-18 Super Hornet fighter version. Lockheed Martin delivers the 700th F-35 stealth fighter jet. U.S. Air Force bomber intercepted by Russian Su-35s over Pacific Ocean. U.S. Army uses mock-up of Chinese modern tank for training purposes. Bulgaria warns Russia it could cancel MiG-29 service deal. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China vows to reduce medically unnecessary abortions, allegedly for the benefit of women. China gives heroes welcome to Meng Wanzhou, freed in apparent prisoner swap with Canadian hostages. Strict COVID rules expected for Beijing Winter Olympics. Taiwan court rules against surgery requirement for legal gender change. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Tuesday, September 28, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Expanola police officer charged with unlawfully filming sexual act with woman. DMV customers warned of text message scams. Where is most expensive rent in U.S., not in San Francisco, report says. 3 teens arrested for armed robbery of woman outside Pleasant Mall. Giants Brandon Belt fractured left thumb after getting hit by pitch. Hate crime investigation, offensive graffiti found in Palo Alto parking garage. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Girls volleyball, Reed, friend leave Lake Zurich fit to be tied. Bittersweet day for retiring assistant fire chief in Elgin. Indians win last home game ahead of transition to Guardians. With lunch invite, UN chief tries to restart Cyprus talks. Girls tennis, Downers Grove North's 1-2 punch wins again. Most chaotic initial scene, responders testify about kennel fire that killed 29 dogs in 2019. 6 Naperville firefighters suing city, health system, Pritzker over vaccine, testing mandate. Nursing home staffs continue to lag residents for COVID-19 vaccinations. Former Chicago alderman admits to fraud. Deadly counterfeit pills now everywhere in Chicago, Dia says. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Bigfoot and Kevin are among the names suggested for Washington's new ferry. Can you do better? Seattle's immersive Van Gogh exhibit delayed with no clear venue set. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Sam 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for tropical cyclone Mindel 21. Population affected by category 1, 120 kilometers per hour. Wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6m, depth 8.71 km, in Greece September 27, 2021, 6:17 UTC, 470,000 people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Cameroon, Nigeria. Drought is ongoing in Angola. Volcanic eruption is ongoing for La Palma in Spain. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Tuesday, September 28th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Two sisters nearly killed after being hit by car in Houston's South Side, suspect still at large. Houston man out on 5 bonds charged with killing 2 men weeks apart, records show. Watch the 2021 Hispanic Heritage Localish Special sponsored by AARP Houston. Houston sees 30% increase in homicides compared to this time in 2020. Migrants are gone from the Del Rio border, but how many are staying in the U.S.? Man accused of killing teen in road rage shooting after Astros game appears in court. 2 wet weather systems rain on Texas this week. Houston mother meets newborn son after battling COVID for over a month. Where do we stand ahead of 2022 Texas governor's race? Driver killed after car crashes into tree in southwest Houston, HPD says. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Japan set to lift all virus emergency steps nationwide. Laurene Powell jobs to invest $3.5 billion in climate group. The latest, number 2 Australian city passes Sydney in new cases. Miami commissioners vote to probe Miami police chief. Oregon legislature okays new political boundaries. Georgia congressional district plan could help GOP grab seat. The latest, travel limits being eased in New Zealand City. FBI, 2020 homicides up nearly 30%, largest one-year jump ever. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. De Blasio visits Rikers, defends real impact of city's crisis intervention. Federal court clears vaccine mandate for NYC public school staff. Extra, Paul Thomas Anderson gets dazed and confused with licorice pizza trailer. Public defenders, activists call on judges to address mounting Rikers death toll. 5,000 NYC public hospital workers were unvaccinated ahead of mandate deadline. Outcry after city officials throw out Bronx street vendors' fresh food. Uncertain future for New York City's program to bring dangerous basement apartments up to code. The official head of the 1939 to 1940 NYC World's Fair. SNL loses Beck Bennett, adds featured players Sarah Sherman, Aristotle Athery and James Austin Johnson. Early edition, forgets that girl autumn, fall style is now all about Morute. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Niger, climate change is another pandemic with devastating effects. France focuses on responsibility and solidarity in the face of global challenges. Mexican illustrators blur art lines in Paris show. Syria committed to combating and eradicating terrorism, General Assembly hears. Yemen, endless suffering of children after years of war, aid crisis. Yemen asks international community to exert pressure on healthy coup leaders and their sponsors to end bloodshed. Security Council marks 25th anniversary of test ban treaty with call for nuclear weapons-free world. Boosting production, crucial for least developed countries, post-pandemic. Iran nuclear program at critical point, Israeli Prime Minister warns. When love is called as a conspiracy, the love jihad bogey targeting interfaith couples in India. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Trump lists thousands of ballots included in 2020 election in Arizona that were fraudulent, showing he won the state. New York vaccine mandate threatens hospital staff shortage. Florida's radical new COVID plan, actual science insanity. New York may tap National Guard to replace unvaccinated healthcare workers. UK to begin nationwide fluoridation of tap water. Biden will continue the JFK cover-up. Pfizer CEO says normal life won't return without regular COVID vaccinations. John Stossel files damning lawsuit against Facebook for defamation over bogus fact-checking. New World Order. Israelis rise up against vax passports after being told more shots needed to be considered fully vaccinated. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. GOP blocks bill to keep government going, new try ahead. Yes, The Office filmed a scene during an earthquake. Is Church of Dirt a real wedding venue? No, Winnie the Pooh wasn't banned from a playground. Did FedEx fire a driver who refused to deliver to pro-Biden homes? Parody account fools Twitter users with Candace Owens and Stacey-tweet. Basta, Romans say enough to invasion of wild boars in city. Obama Presidential Center and Library will break ground in September 2021. Does this photo show the world's highest altitude lake? We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Tucker Carlson calls CNN reporter a midget with a microphone. Man who got life for toy gun robbery will finally walk free next month. R. Kelly's accusers are thankful, and still scarred. Feds warn that killer fentanyl-laced pills are flooding U.S. Dad of missing black geologist slams nonchalant cops handling of his son's case. R. Kelly convicted of sex crimes, it only took 30 years. Cops who pulled over Van Life couple were told Fank hit Gabby Petito. It's a nightmare, teen wrestling champ gunned down while sitting in her car. The View gets emotional while addressing on their COVID chaos. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Once again, the Jets are putting their fans through hell. House Dems huddle as infrastructure, spending bills hang in balance. Man found asleep in pile of stolen chicken fingers, meth. Nets LaMarcus Aldridge opens up about scary night dealing with heart issue. Bethany Frankel slammed for transphobic podcast comments about pronouns. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Understanding just how big solar flares can get. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Landsat Earth observation satellite launched into orbit. How climate change impacts the Rocky Mountains. How the natural elements of Lake Superior help turn ordinary glass into art. California State Fair to introduce Cannabis Award. New COVID cases drop nationwide following summer surge. Massive fireball traveling 32,000 miles per hour caught on video. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Delivery driver arrested in murder of British schoolteacher Sabina Nessa during a 5-minute walk. Illinois man wins marathon after Kenyan front runners mistakenly diverted from course. Theatergoer tossed from Hamilton for refusing to wear mask. Global Citizen Live raises over $1 billion to fight poverty. Krispy Kreme rolls out new cinnamon rolls, one with Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. FedEx driver who said he wouldn't deliver to homes with BLM flags is fired after posting TikTok video. Wisconsin teen wins lawsuit against sheriff's deputy who forced her to take down Instagram post about having COVID. Woman charged with arson after allegedly starting California wildfire while trying to boil water. Anita Hill, 30 years later, Biden apology for Clarence Thomas hearing wasn't enough. Senate GOP blocks bill to fund government passed Thursday. Biden faces crucial stretch for his domestic agenda. The following headlines are from military.com. Trump's Mar-a-Lago 3 violated law while interfering at the VA, House lawmakers charge. US-led coalition says raid killed 3 ISIS militants as war in Syria continues. 200K troops eligible for temporary housing allowance boosts. UK malls calling in army to help ease gas shortages at pumps. Coast Guard cadets see progress 10 years after repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. International prosecutor seeks to resume war crimes probe of U.S., Afghan troops. Top U.S. general, whisperer to president, target of intrigue. South Korea urges North Korea to restore hotlines for any talks. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Obama talks about the mission of his presidential center ahead of Tuesday's groundbreaking. Who can get a COVID-19 booster? Where? Here's what Illinois residents should know about the next round of shots. White Sox single-game playoff tickets to go on sale Wednesday. Former Northwestern professor's defense blames ex-co-defendant for alleged sexual thrill kill. This is a beginning. Mayor Lori Lightfoot announces first citywide strategic plan to tackle gender-based violence, human trafficking. Northwestern cancels fraternity activities. Protesters call for abolishing Greek life after reports of students being drugged at frat houses. In federal courtroom far from his hometown, remnants of R. Kelly superstardom evaporate in sweeping racketeering, sex crimes conviction. Police Superintendent Brown, don't give us a pass, but when we do well, we'd sure like to be acknowledged. Former WTMX staffer sues Eric in the Morning host Eric Ferguson, alleging radio star coerced sexual favors. Douglas Park neighbors divided over riot fest as some complain about damage in traffic while others say it brings in new vitality. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Earth monitoring Landsat 9 satellite launches in California. Capturing light, new ergonomic photo detector for the trillion sensor era. New imaging system reveals solar panel defects even in bright sunlight. Geologists solve half-century-old mystery of animal traces in ancient rocks. Scientific team uncovers additional threat to Antarctica's floating ice shelves. Shock waves and outflow gases could regulate volcano lightning. New world record in materials research, X-ray microscopy at a speed of 1,000 tomograms per second. Does pollution make thunderstorms more severe? New tool finds the best opportunities to reduce, reuse and recycle across industrial sectors. Zen stones naturally placed atop pedestals of ice, a phenomenon finally understood. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Tuesday, September 28th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The 25 best CBD oils for sale. Ash and lava flows continue to wreak havoc on La Palma in the Canary Islands. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Whirlwind year of success ends with pain and disappointment for Storm's Breanna Stewart. Blue Jackets blank short-handed Penguins. As California's eviction ban ends, some protections remain. Seattle City Council approves requirement for 6 months notice of rent increases. Giants 1B Brandon Belt has broken left thumb, status unclear. California first to require hourly wages in garment industry. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Bay Area TV Sports, what to watch on Tuesday, Wednesday. North Korea fires suspected ballistic missile into sea. 2 take plea deals in 2017 Oakland killing, victim was shot and abandoned under freeway. Takeaways from Warriors Media Day, how Klay Thompson, James Wiseman are progressing, Steph Curry petitions for mid-level exception. 2015 SoCal gas blowout results in $1.8 billion settlement. 2 killed in separate crashes in Hollister, Gilroy. SF Giants Brandon Belt has fractured thumb, no timetable given for recovery. Man pleads guilty to supplying Vallejo heroin dealers, feds say he was starting opium farm. Despite actual findings, Trump says audit shows we won. 49er Shanahan seeks defensive reinforcements, Kittle dealing with calf tightness. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Kathy Hochul, COVID-19 vaccines are from God to us. New York City vaccine mandate can proceed, appeals panel rules. Senate Republicans block debt limit, government funding bill. FBI, homicide spike in 2020 sets all-time record. Roberta Laundrie, Brian Laundrie's mother, calls 911 on Dog the Bounty Hunter. Pentagon leaders Austin, Milley to face Capitol Hill grilling on Afghanistan. Aaron Von Ellinger, ex-Idaho lawmaker charged with rape, is arrested in Georgia. Biden's infrastructure bill still a bridge too far in rift between progressive, moderate House Dems. Inside the Beltway, Republicans warned not to get cocky. House Dems beg Senate GOP to help lift the debt ceiling. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Nina Turner files 2022 campaign papers but demurs on decision to run. Nancy Pelosi delays infrastructure vote after progressive pressure. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Tuesday, September 28, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Munoz joins what is becoming Chicago's least exclusive club. Dean Angelo, former head of Chicago Police Union, in intensive care unit following complications from COVID-19. Prison polling places, some lawmakers, advocates want to restore voting rights to those behind bars. Robert Sylvester Kelly finally convicted of sex crimes against minors. Baseball by the numbers, Lance Lynn leads White Sox pitchers in win probability added. CPS mom dies after her child exposed to COVID-19 at school where hundreds of kids quarantined. R. Kelly's conviction a victory, especially for black women, in a battle we can never stop fighting. Top Chicago radio personality accused of coercing staffer to perform sexual favors. Obama at ceremonial Obama Center groundbreaking Tuesday, at museum, artifacts to tell the Obama story. Foreman of R. Kelly's 2008 jury happy that justice was served. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Punjab government carries capped baggage. BJP claims attack on Dilip on Diddy turf, EC seeks report. 2,000-year-old's Mayrat fine may lead to lost Ashoka pillar site. All citizens will get digital health ID, PM Modi. Bombay HC bars open court hearing of workplace sex harassment cases. Community leaders turn influencers to boost vaccination drive in tribal districts. RSS-linked magazine calls Amazon East India Co 2.0. SC ticks off corporate lawyers on pleas for urgent listing. Pay closer attention to N-proliferation, India says at UNSC. SC puts government on notice, says don't play football with hives of young doctors. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Tuesday, September 28, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Abbott says no to rape, incest exception for abortion law. Hall and Oates at the Woodlands. Things to do, upcoming food and drink events in Houston this week. Best of Houston 2021, Best Chinese. Davis Mills' debut start holds up decently versus his rookie peers. Particular brilliance, Jonathan Goldstein. Best of Houston 2021, Best Breakfast, Oak Forest. Shows to watch now before TV's fall onslaught. Trump audit caps off first week of special session 3. Things to do, read Unrequited Infatuations by Stevie Van Zandt. The next headlines are about world records making news. Buddha stone carvings in southwest China receive world record certification, China.org.cn. Macao's makes 25-foot chimichanga in Guinness World Record attempt, ABC 15 Arizona. Get blood sugar tested for free, be part of world record, Times of India. New York group sets world record for longest charcuterie board, NBC 10 Boston. Connecticut angler's catfish record revoked, state issues apology, Yahoo Sports. Foodie group sets record for world's longest charcuterie board, WOAI. New world record in materials research, X-ray microscopy at a speed of 1,000 tomograms per second, phys.org. Dog earns Guinness World Record for longest ears, Fox News. Researchers broke the Guinness World Record for the widest paint ever, Mashable. Olympic show jumpers full sets new world record price at auction, Horse and Hound. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. E3M researcher pleads guilty to advising North Korea on how to use crypto to evade sanctions. Venom 2's marketing really wants you to remember Eddie and Venom are a couple now. The Boys College-focused spin-off is a go at Amazon. Who's Who in Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. TikTok's takeover is going great. Bitcoin Bros and Nuclear Bros have found common cause. Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition to get a revision, then an evolution. So much ice has melted that the Earth's crust is shifting in weird, new ways. All hail Mr. Gox, the crypto trading hamster who's killing it. Famous Viking map of North America is totally fake. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Mon in Botswana at 123.8 degrees Fahrenheit or 51 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. G.I. Joe goes AAA with new game headed by XWB developers. Twitch leak suggests major response to streaming sites hate mob issues. Electronic Frontier Foundation will deprecate HTTPS Everywhere plugin. Ford picks Kentucky and Tennessee for $11.4 billion of investment. NY prepared for tens of thousands of unvaccinated health workers to lose jobs. Researchers use Starlink satellites to pinpoint location, similar to GPS. The train that shrunk France and Western Europe. Newest iPad mini has a subtle scrolling problem. The Galaxy Note is back, it's just going to be called the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Occultist tries to imprison Death in first The Sandman teaser. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Democratic Senator hints why Mitch McConnell may come to regret blocking debt ceiling vote. The failed Arizona audit would have deflated the enthusiasm of any sane politician, except Trump, election law expert. Wife of Brazil's Trump-loving leader gets vaxxed in NYC and leaves Brazilians fuming about disrespect, report. Journalism professor posts hilarious history of Fox News' worst and most misleading graphs. Kentucky Dem roasts McConnell for bragging about scoring cash for a state while blocking debt ceiling vote. No doubt Trump and his allies were staging a seditious conspiracy, former Harvard law professor. 2 MAGA rioters hit with severe new charges amid evidence they plotted to bring guns into Capitol. FedEx driver fired after angry tirade about refusing to deliver packages to homes with BLM signs. The Supreme Court's fall from grace gives Democrats a big opening. Greg Abbott shredded by Texas judge for giving Trump his voter fraud audit. He caved in minutes. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Wall Street mortgage bankers are freaking out about climate change. My wife was dying of brain cancer. My boss at Amazon told me to perform or quit. Here's the truth about Brett Kavanaugh's finances. The next items are today's top search results for Bigfoot. Tom DeLonge cheeked out on New Wave, Bigfoot and more while making New Angels and Airwaves album, Billboard. 22 cryptids from around the world, mental floss. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Demi Lovato says aliens are trying to protect them from themselves. Exclusive, CBS News 8. The problem of making decisions in a vacuum is no more. How do we now learn to make decisions with an overabundance of inputs? Forbes. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is trending, but how does it affect business? Global Banking and Finance Review. Psychedelic drugs, but safer. Delix raises $70 MTO bring new neuromeds to clinic. MedCity News. SUTD researchers designed an ultra-low-power artificial synapse for next-generation AI systems. Uric alert. A new hope for treating neurodegenerative diseases. Health Europa. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Tuesday, September 28, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Former Pentagon UFO official to reveal shocking never-before-shared details. Lawmaker on a mission to compel Pentagon to take UFOs seriously. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Tuesday, September 28, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.